So hello everyone, in this audio class we will discuss the 20 most important questions for your upcoming KVS NVS Geography PGT interview. So let's get started with the question number 1. What is plate tectonic theory? So plate tectonic theory states that the lithosphere is divided into several rigid plates. These plates float and move slowly over the semi-molten asthenosphere. The movement of these plates is responsible for the major geological events such as earthquakes, volcanoes and mountain buildings. For example, the Indian plate is moving northward and colliding with the Eurasian plate. Next question, what is the lithosphere? So, the lithosphere is the rigid outer layer of the earth. It consists of the earth and the uppermost part of the mantle. It is broken into tectonic plates. For example, the Indian plate, Pacific plate and Eurasian plate are parts of the lithosphere. Next question, what is asthenosphere? So, the asthenosphere is a weak and partially molten layer below the lithosphere. It allows tectonic plates to move slowly. For example, just as a boat moves over water, lithospheric plates move over the asthenosphere. Next question, why do tectonic plates move? So, tectonic plates move because of convection currents within the mantle. Heat from the Earth's interior creates movement of molten material which pushes and pulls the plates. For example, hot material rises and cool material sinks, creating circulation. Next question, what are the major types of plate boundaries? So there are three major plate boundaries: divergent boundary, convergent boundary and transform boundary. For example, mid-Atlantic ridge is divergent Himalayas and Himalayas are convergent. Next question, what is a divergent boundary? So, a divergent boundary is a plate where two plates move away from each other. For example, here new crust is formed here. For example, mid-Atlantic ridge. Next question, what is a convergent boundary? So, a convergent boundary is a place where two plates move towards each other. It often causes mountain building and earthquakes. For example, Indian plate colliding with Eurasian plate. Next question, how were the Himalayas formed? So, the Himalayas were formed due to the collision between Indian plate and the Eurasian plate. The sediments of the Tethys Sea were folded and uplifted. For example, the Himalayas are the best example of young fold mountains. Next question, why are Himalayas called young fold mountains? So, they were formed recently in the geological history and are still rising due to active plate movement. For example, frequent earthquakes indicate that the region is still active. Next question, what is an earthquake? So, an earthquake is the sudden shaking of the earth's surface caused by release of energy within the earth crust. For example, 2015 Nepal earthquake. Next question, what is the focus of an earthquake? So, the focus is the point inside the earth where the earthquake originates. For example, energy is first released at the focus. Next question, what is the epicenter? So, the epicenter is the point on the earth's surface directly above the focus. For example, maximum damage generally occurs near the epicenter. Next question, why do earthquakes occur near plate boundaries? So, stress accumulates due to plate movement. When rocks break suddenly, energy is released as seismic waves. For example, more earthquakes occur around the Pacific Ring of Fire. Next question, what are seismic waves? So, seismic waves are energy waves generated during an earthquake. For example, P waves and S waves, that are surface waves. Next question, what is the difference between P waves and S waves? So P waves travel through solids, liquids and gases, and S waves travel only through solids. This is why S waves do not pass through the liquid outer core. Next question, how do earthquakes help us understand Earth's interior? So the behavior of seismic waves helps scientists identify different layers of the earth. For example, the liquid nature of the outer core was discovered through seismic studies. Next question, what is a volcano? So a volcano is an opening in the earth's crust through which magma, gases and ash come out. So for example, Mount Fuji in Japan. Next question, what is the difference between magma and lava? So magma is the molten rock inside the earth, and lava is molten rock that reaches the earth's surface. Next question, why are volcanoes commonly found near plate boundaries? So plate movements creates fractures and melting of rocks. Magma rises through these openings and erupts. For example, Pacific Ring of Fire. Next question, how are earthquakes, volcanoes and mountain building related? So all three are results of plate tectonic activity. Plate movement causes earthquakes, volcanic eruptions and the formation of mountains. So the final statement is that plate tectonic theory is the unifying theory of modern geomorphology because it explains earthquakes, volcanoes and mountain building through the movement of lithospheric plates. The Himalayas, earthquakes in Nepal and volcanoes around the Pacific Ring of Fire are all outcomes of plate tectonic processes. So thanks for listening. Keep listening for further audio classes. Thank you.